Hello there, and welcome to the Time Machine with Trish and Mike. I am Mike.
I am Trish.
And we're glad you're back with us once again. Hello, Trish.
Hello, Mike. Happy almost October.
Yes, today is, of course, September 30th, which would make tomorrow October 1st, both in America and in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wouldn't that be something? I know we've talked before, like, what if we had different, back when we talked about time zones, but what if we had different calendars, and tomorrow wasn't
just we
October.
followed the Gregorian one and you guys didn't?
Right. Like one of us is on the Gregorian, one of us is on the Julian. So, happy 2027 to you if you follow some other calendar or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. However it works.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
It's going to be a show. It's always a good sign when we start out with complete and utter nonsense, right?
Nonsense and giggles. But yeah, it is almost spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be Halloween plans aplenty.
Yes, that will be good. Something to look forward to.
I always love it when you're like, when you cosplay and people are like, well, what are you going to do? Like my students were asking me the other day, they're like, so like, what are you going to wear? Like, and they're like, you don't really dress up. You're going to wear one of your cosplays. I'm like, I don't dress up. What are you all talking about? Like every Halloween I wear something cool.
Well, this is what is the interesting dilemma, as cosplayers, because that's how we met through cosplay on Instagram, which we're going to get to here in a minute because that's one of our topics. In fact, it's going to be the first one coming up after I shut up. But it's always interesting when we get to Halloween because people are like, on one hand, they expect so much from you because you do all these costumes throughout the year. And then at the other time, it's like, or on the other hand, it's, well, I do all this stuff. I want to go easy on Halloween and not do I'm okay going and doing something simple that doesn't require a lot of effort because you put all the time, effort, and money into the stuff throughout the year. And depending what you're doing, if you're going to go out to, as things are opening up, do you want to go out to a bar with one of your expensive cosplays that cost you a lot? It's like, what if something happens and it gets ruined and, somebody's like, oh, let me play with your prop and they break it, and it's like,
no, thanks. And I know coming as a female cosplayer, if you're going to go out and people, like you said, tend to be more rambunctious around Halloween or drink more, if I'm dressed up as Catwoman in my skin tight suit, I'm not going to feel super comfortable in that scene. And so then you do something where you wear a Batman shirt with maybe the tail, the store brand version of your cosplay.
And not that there's anything wrong with wearing a store brand cosplay to a convention or something, but it's just,
there are times when you need that comfy, more casual version of your cosplay.
And have I ever told you about the Halloween bar that we have here?
The Halloween bar? Is it a year-round bar or is it only a special bar?
Nope. There's a bar downtown. We have a Halloween bar. It's called Cocktails and Screams.
Okay.
And it's a whole Halloween theme.
It already sounds like a place I wouldn't go. I am such a wuss.
Well,
I'd be worried something would pop out at me or something. I don't know.
You would be okay there. You'll survive.
Okay.
Whenever you make the great Florida trip, we can
the great Florida trip of 2020. We don't know when.
22. I think is what you're trying to say. I might have a connection there. I'm just saying we could make something happen. And that's all I'll say on that. We'll go on to
our first story. All right. Well, October 6th, 2010, Instagram is going to be founded. So, of course, 11 years ago, I, in my wildest dreams, would never have thought that a social media platform would become so important in my world. When Facebook was first founded, it was a really big deal, right? It changed how people connected. And I was like, yeah, whatever, Facebook. Instagram, maybe it's more my speed because it was primarily founded as a photo sharing social media site, right? It all came about with the founder he was really big into photography, and that's just what he really wanted to start it with. And then it morphed into what we know it is now.
Right.
But yeah, if you had told Trish back in 2010, that I was going to meet some of my most important friends, or I was going to meet my significant other through this social media app, I would have not believed you.
No, I totally same. I mean, like I had MySpace, I think you have MySpace, Trish?
I did not have MySpace. Okay. No.
Right. So I
had a live journal. Does that count?
Okay. I think I started one. I never did anything with it though. Because I had a friend that was like, really, you should get into blogging and stuff. And this was 15 years ago or whatever. And I never did. Because I was a decent writer. I could come up with stuff, and, but like with Facebook, if there's no one on Facebook that I don't know, right. it might be friends from high school. It might be people I legitimately haven't seen in 15 years. But if you're on my Facebook friends list, at some point we have crossed paths in real life. I actually know who you are versus Instagram. There's, that was really kind of like I farted. Hello, let me try that again. I told y'all folks, it's going to be a show today. That's when I started following just people I didn't know because I liked their pictures. And then, later on, as I started the cosplay account and we got into that, it was the same thing. I started following people like, hey, I don't know you, but you do some cool stuff. And then over time, you get to know the people, and eventually you start messaging and you build friendships and all that. And
that's exactly how you and I became friends. We both knew a mutual friend who we both had not met at that point. Mm-hmm. And then our paths crossed, and it was like, oh, hi, your stuff is cool, and cool people, and we just started chit-chatting.
Yeah, in fact, you were, I will never forget this, you were actually my 1,500th follower.
That's right. You've shared that before.
Because our good friend Andy, Crazy Cocoa Butter Cosplay, which is quite possibly the most syllables in any username that I know. He was, it was New Year's Day. I think it was 2019, I think.
Yeah, that would probably be right.
Yeah, I think that was it. And I was like, hey, it's New Year's Day. I'm literally like one follower away. And I don't get caught up on follower counts or anything. I just happen to be looking at my page. I'm like, well, that'd be kind of cool to hit, a milestone on a new year. And
then boom, Trish.
You followed me.
Hi.
Yay. Hi. And here we are doing a podcast. Well, who knew?
And I still remember, because I was the same way as you. Like I had a private Instagram and then created the cosplay one. And with my private one, it's very private, obviously, because it's my family and close friends and my kids. Mm-hmm. And as a teacher, you're like, I don't want any students really to find me. But the cosplay one, I remember when like 50 people followed Andy and I, and it was like, oh my God, like 50 people are interested in our shenanigans, right?
Oh, I know.
Like, it was so funny. But yeah, but it did start out as photography, which you both and I enjoy photography. You are actually more on a professional level than me. Mm-hmm. And Kevin Systrom's love of photography is what started Instagram. And he posted the first photo, actually a few months before it officially launched in October. But the first photo is, do you want to know what of?
It's got to be better than the first YouTube video, right?
It surprisingly involves an animal, though, like the first YouTube video.
It's got to be his dog.
It was a dog in Mexico. He was on vacation and he posted this dog looking up at him, and it's really cute. Oh. So, right. Nice. He's going to be the co-founder of it with Mike Krieger until 2018, and then Facebook buys it out. Mark Zuckerberg's now the owner, right?
Mm-hmm. And now people have Instagram accounts dedicated to their dogs.
Yes. Yep. Specific fur baby accounts. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We know someone with a specific fur baby account.
We know a few people, I'm sure. But in some in some cases, the dog accounts have more followers than the people.
And that's true. That's very true.
I mean, no one that we know that I'm not trying to reference anything with that. Just in general, like, I mean, there are animal accounts that have hundreds of thousands of followers,
Oh yeah. Like way more than, someone who would be like the president of the United States. It's like, oh, really? Like not many people.
Maybe that's
more people follow this one animal.
Maybe we need to post more dogs on our account. Maybe that's what we need to do.
We're lacking in not enough animal content.
I mean, our next story is about a mouse, but
that's true. So there are.
We're just full of teases today.
You got to just listen for what's going to happen, gang.
Exactly.
We got to get you through the account through the episode. We're like definitely losing it.
We told you up front. It's going to be a show. All right.
Just one of those days.
Yep. All right. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you know how much Facebook paid for Instagram?
Am I crazy to say it was something like, I'm going to give a range just because it could be all over the place. It was somewhere between 750 million and 2 billion.
You are close. It was 1 billion US in cash and stock. Cash and stock. I want to know how much cash.
So I wasn't far off really in that assessment. I mean, the 2 billion, yes, was way over, but my gut was 750 million. So,
so you were close.
That's pretty close.
And you know how many active users there are as of September 7th? That was the earliest data I could find.
This year?
Yes. September 7th, 2021. Active users. Active. So there's accounts, but no one's using them. So active users.
Active users. Because there could be 1 billion accounts, but I'm going to say there's only like 650 million active accounts.
Oh, you should have gone with your first one. 1 billion active users.
Okay.
That's pretty crazy.
That's a lot because Facebook has like 2 billion. So I figured it's not as much as because I know people on Facebook that aren't on Instagram. So I know people exist out there that aren't, Wow.
You want to know who is the most followed person on Instagram? I was shocked by this one. This was not on my radar whatsoever.
It's not a Kardashian. It's not.
No, but I do have
It is a person though, right?
It is a person, and I do have a Kardashian link for the most picture.
Yeah, I think I know that story. It's not Taylor Swift, is it?
Nope.
Is it a singer?
Nope.
And it's a person.
Yeah. Trish and lack of sports knowledge. That'll be the hint I give you.
So
because it was just not on my radar at all. I was like, really?
It's an athlete then.
It is an athlete.
Is it a soccer player?
Soccer or footballer, yes. Okay. Depending on the term you like.
So is it like Cristiano Ronaldo?
It is.
Something?
It is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay.
Portuguese professional footballer with over 300 million followers.
Jeez, that's crazy.
I was like, really?
I wouldn't have thought he had that many.
No, I mean he's real. Like I don't even know sports, and I know he's like a really nice person in general, and I know he's a really amazing athlete. The most liked photo on Instagram is of what?
Is it the egg?
It is the egg.
Yes.
If you go to world_record_egg, there is a picture of a brown egg.
Yep.
The whole purpose of it was to surpass the record of 18 million likes that Kylie Jenner had on a post. And it currently has over 50 million likes.
And if you go and search through those likes, you will find that I have liked that picture.
You have, and a bunch of celebrities like Taylor Swift, T Swift like it.
See, me and T Swift, we're buddies, we're besties.
You're close.
Yes.
Gender. Who uses Facebook more, males or females?
You mean Instagram?
Or Instagram? Yes.
Females.
I have Zuckerberg stuck in my head. Females do, but not by as much as you would think. Only 53%, and then 47% are male users.
I was going to say 52, so okay, that's pretty close.
Yeah, and we're going to say that it's the gender that one identifies with, not necessarily biological, right? Because you can pick that.
Right.
Trying to think. I had another interesting statistic. Who is the age group that most uses Instagram?
Now, this I think TikTok is very easy to answer. I think Instagram, I think, is going to be a little bit older than TikTok, but not as old as a Facebook audience. So I'm going to say, depending on the way your demos are broken down, I'm going to say 18 to 35.
You're so close. It's 25 to 34 is almost 52% of Instagram users are in that age bracket.
Okay.
Then the next one is our age, 35 to 44.
Okay. That makes sense because demographics can be broken down in several different categories. Like, like I said, 18 to 35, but you can have 18 to 25.
Right.
There's different. So that's why I'm throwing a wide net.
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me. And I think if you look and see, Facebook's average users are probably 30 to 50 ish.
Yeah. I would agree. Because every time like a new generation comes up, they're like, oh, you're on Instagram. Like that's old people. Yeah. And Facebook's like ancient.
Like TikTok is 13 to 21 or whatever, mostly.
Well, and it was funny. One of my students the other day was like, you have Snapchat? I'm like, of course I have Snapchat. I've had Snapchat for like, I don't know, like since it came out. Like, they're like, what?
I've had Snapchat since you were born, kid.
Yeah. Well, and this other teacher was like, we're human beings too. We enjoy the filters. Like, last piece of trivia for Instagram. What is the best time to post to actually post to get a lot of likes?
Yeah, this can vary. Okay, so I would look at it really, I think, depends what you're posting too.
Yeah. And I should preface this by saying that the majority of Instagram users, the country with the largest amount of Instagram users is America. So we're using North American time.
Yeah.
Because of course, if you're using overseas time, well then it's going to be skewed for us.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It depends who your market is. I typically I seem to have better luck when I post. I usually try to post around lunchtime on the East Coast, because my theory is people are on their lunch break on the East Coast and they're maybe just kind of getting settled in at work, but they're not actually working yet, or they're waiting to start working on the West Coast. So that's my logic. So that's what I would say, like 12 at 1 o'clock ish Eastern.
So there's 4 time. They give 4 times for the best, but your answer is one of them, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. from Monday to Friday.
Yep. Because
people are checking it either after work hours or on their lunch break.
Yep.
The other time is 5 a.m. from Tuesday to Friday, because people are checking their phones as soon as they wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And then 11 a.m. on Saturday is when people are usually eating their breakfast, lunch, your brunch time.
Okay.
And between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., it's like a huge bracket, Tuesday to Friday is the most frequent Instagram engagement.
Okay, then.
But they definitely said the 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. is like the sweet spot.
And I have friends that post at 7 in the morning, and I have friends that post at 7 at night. So it's just kind of...
It's how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was interesting.
Lots of trivia in case it ever shows up on Jeopardy for you.
Yeah. Which will now for the rest of this year be hosted by Ma'am Balak and Ken Jennings. So
which is exciting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what else is exciting?
I know what you're going to say, but what are you going to say?
Well, I did tell you the next story is about a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a very famous mouse.
Is it about Ralph the mouse on his magic motorcycle?
It's about Stuart Little. No, we are, of course, talking about Mickey Mouse, and specifically because tomorrow, Trish, believe it or not, October 1st is the 50th anniversary of when Walt Disney World opened in Orlando.
That's so exciting, and also so upsetting that the pandemic has like stifled these celebrations that could have been so epic.
Yeah, well, I technically should say near Orlando, not in Orlando, but we're getting into semantics, which we'll get into here in a minute.
Will the Floridians get mad at you?
The Floridians won't, but the Disney people probably will.
Okay,
because Disney is technically not in Orlando, as we'll get to. But no, it's limited. I think a little bit of probably what they would have done. They're still doing things. There's decorations up. They've got stuff planned throughout the year. They've got some new rides that are going to be opening throughout the parks.
That's pretty cool. So are you going to go?
Not tomorrow. The reservations for that, because you still have to have a reservation to go to Disney. Okay. Those filled up quite a long time ago when that block opened up. But I will at some point during the 50th year make it out there and
cool.
And go. But it's one thing they actually did pretty cool. I'll send this to you so you can see it. We could post it in our story. Is they got together and had a celebration of the people that are still working there.
Oh, what? People are still working there after 50 years?
Yep.
Holy moly. That's pretty cool.
That is
surprising to me.
Yeah. They had a nice reception for them, and they took like a class picture, and they got Mickey ear hats with like class of 1971 on them, and they gave them little name tags and like little nice shadow box things. It was really a neat little clip.
That's really cool. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So what started as the Magic Kingdom, which is the main, when you think of Walt Disney World, that's what you think of. You think of Cinderella's castle and the whole deal. what started back then 50 years ago has turned into 4 theme parks: Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom, 2 water parks, 27 themed resort hotels, 9 non-Disney hotels on property, meaning not owned or operated by Disney. They've got golf courses, they've got a camping resort, they've got other entertainment venues out there. There's Disney Springs where you can go shopping and dining, and there's all sorts of. They've got over 25,000 acres, and
that's huge.
The scary part is they've only used about half of it.
Yeah, and one time you showed me like a digital tour overlooking all the different sections, and you're like, yeah, like these are kind of the ideas of what they might do over here in this area that's not being used.
Yeah,
that's crazy. They were really planning. He was thinking ahead.
They were. So there's valid reasoning to why he did that. So we have a lot of friends that listen to this that live in California and are very familiar with Disneyland. Disneyland is very different from Disney World. Yes, there's a castle. Yes, there's Haunted Mansion. There's a lot of similarities in the parks, but the location. So if you've never looked it up, look up Disneyland on a map and you'll see there's stuff all around it. Like they can't expand anymore. There's literally a McDonald's across the street from, and we've talked about this. I think you ate at that McDonald's. In fact,
I ate at that McDonald's.
The Anaheim Convention Center is there. Like you can't do anything to expand Disneyland. And when they were looking to build a second theme park, they knew wherever we build this, we want to buy up a bunch of land so we can grow. And so that way you feel like you are not in anywhere. Right. You know, because like if you could walk outside and there's a gas station, there's a McDonald's, you don't feel it's nothing special. When you come to Disney World, you have to drive on a road for a little bit to get to it. You feel like I'm going somewhere completely separate from the outside world, and it feels special. So in 1959, Walt Disney Productions began looking to build a second resort. And so they did some market research and found, this is very interesting. They found that only 5% of Disneyland visitors came from east of the Mississippi River, which is where about 75% of the U.S. population was. So you have this huge untapped market on the East Coast. So he knew we need to build one on the East Coast. So as Disney's flying over the Orlando area, he sees how the roads are connected and I-4 was going under expansion. And he just sees like, okay, this would be a good area, and it's good weather. It's not, you're not going to get, snow and freezing. I mean, yes, it's hot in the summer, but whatever. So they began working on the Florida project, as they called it. And so they started to work on acquiring land. And so they were, again, one thing Disney was very good at, he was a smart businessman. He was very creative. He knew if he starts buying all this land as Disney, it's going to draw attention and it's going to raise the rates. So they create all these dummy corporations to start buying land up. So
sneaky.
Like one of them was the I-4 Corporation, and it's spelled out like AYE4. Or there's the Latin American Development and Management Corporation, Reedy Creek Ranch Corporation. Like he comes up with all sorts of these names. In fact, on the windows on Main Street, USA, you'll see some of these names, memorialized.
Oh, cool.
It's like a little Easter egg kind of thing. And so it's long story short, so they use this to buy up a bunch of this land. And then as they're getting close to getting everything finalized, then they transfer it all to Disney and it becomes a big thing. So they were able to buy some land as cheap as $100 an acre.
Which is like dirt cheap.
Yeah, it's nothing. And so once people knew somebody bought this land, people were thinking, was it Kennedy Space Center? Could it be, the Rockefellers, Howard Hughes? There was a lot of speculation as to who it was. And eventually it kind of leaked out that it was Disney. And so they wound up making the announcement that Disney World is coming on in November of 1965. And kind of the rest is history at that point.
That's so cool. That was that's when you realize the power of one person with an idea, right? Like you listed all the resorts and the hotels and the cruise ships. Like one person had a idea and it just like exploded.
And we didn't even get into that about Disney Cruise Lines and stuff, because they sail out of Port Canaveral, over on the East Coast, because again, goes to the Florida connection.
Like if you just focused on the two, and we know that there's other Disney worlds right? There's Euro Disney and whatever. But if you just focused on the ones in America, let alone like that one idea is so massive in terms of what they've created.
Oh, yeah.
Let alone, like I said, the extended stuff.
Oh, I totally believe in it. Again, to reference our friends that have been to Disneyland, whenever you come out here and go to Disney World, your mind is blown at how big everything is. You're like, wait, what? This is huge.
Yeah, because my only experience is, like I said, I got off the plane, got to my hotel, walked to that McDonald's and tried out some American McDonald's, which was kind of funny, and then walked across the road to just go into the entrance part of Disneyland. And that's as far as I made it. I didn't really see anything.
So you could technically say you've been to Disneyland at that point.
I can technically say, and I didn't realize you can actually go past, like I found out from the Californian friends, you can go past, you just can't go on like the rides or things like that. Like apparently there's a place where there's restaurants. I just never made it there. I was like, oh, okay. I was scared. I saw the gate and I was like, that's it. That's as far as I go.
Gotcha. I'm assuming that's probably like their downtown Disney area.
Yeah.
Similar to our Disney Springs.
Yeah.
It's not, and our Disney Springs used to be called Downtown Disney, in fact.
Okay.
Before it's been expanded and gone through a few different versions over the years, which is another thing. Disney is always evolving. They're always adding something. They're expanding something. There's always something going on out there.
Very cool. Can't wait till I can go one day. Even though I won't go on the rides, I'll just hold everyone's stuff.
Yeah, I can assure you there's some stuff that we can get you on. So
I will just thoroughly enjoy the experience of like being there and the aesthetics and the food. I
will assure you, we have to get you a Mickey ice cream bar first of all.
Okay.
And we have to get you a Dole Whip.
Yeah.
And
I've had a Dole Whip at the Dole Plantation in Hawaii.
Okay. Well, it's not a Disney Dole Whip.
I don't know if
it's
the same.
I don't know. It probably is, but we're going to say it doesn't count because it's not at Disney. And we got to get you a churro. And
yes, I hear a lot about the churros.
We're gonna take good care of you.
And I need to try the milk at the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Get the blue milk. Blue milk is the way to go.
There seems like a big controversy over the green milk versus blue milk. Are those the only two colors?
Yes. If you choose the green milk, you choose wrong.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless you
violence.
I mean, unless you get the one with the tequila in it, in which case then you probably don't care which milk you had. Because they have there's the blue one, and then there's a blue one with I think rum, and then there's a green one and a green one with tequila.
I'm definitely more of a rum person, so I guess that's blue.
I like the blue one better. I mean, I don't know.
Anyway. I think people need to call in to the Anchor app and input on this.
You team blue or green, and I will judge you accordingly. And I will quite possibly block you on Instagram actually if you vote for green.
He's deadly serious. He almost got rid of our friendship over the pumpkin spice latte debacle of last week.
Yes. I'm just saying. I judge
something
you.
Something else that causes controversy and maybe judgment is our next story.
Oh, and I had one more Disney thing.
Oh, did you have another? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No, that's okay.
Alluding to another controversy then, gang.
Yes. So originally it was the Magic Kingdom in Disney World, but Roy Disney, Walt's brother, decreed after it opened that it would be formally known as Walt Disney World in his brother's honor, because of course Walt tragically wasn't around to see it open. He said, everyone has heard of Ford cars, but have they all heard of Henry Ford, who started it all? Walt Disney World is a memory of the man who started it all, so people will know his name as long as Walt Disney World is.
Oh, cool. Except that no one does refer to it as Walt Disney World.
They may not refer to it as that, but if you look at all, like if you go to the Disney World website, the logo,
it's always Walt
Disney World. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like on all the movies and everything too. You see it
Walt
right
Disney
at the beginning.
Pictures, yeah. Walt Disney. Right. Yeah.
You definitely know Walt's name.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So the last thing I have for ticket prices
for tomorrow.
No,
or in general.
Well, I have current, but in 1971, how much was it?
$5.50. I have no idea.
No, you're not far off, actually.
Ooh, Trish got one right-ish.
It was $3.50 for adults, $2.50 for kids 13 to 18, and $1 for kids under 12.
Did we calculate for inflation?
I did that math.
Yay.
So your $3.50 adult ticket would be currently $23.48.
Why do I think that a ticket to Disney is not $23.48?
Spoiler alert, parking for Disney is more than $23.48.
Ooh, Disney doing us dirty.
So parking is $25 and ticket prices are $109.
A day?
Yes.
I mean, but you can go on any ride, right? Like all day long.
And this is kind of where that is a little misleading with the original prices, because back then they operated on a ticket book. You had an A ticket, a B ticket, a C ticket, an E ticket ride. So like each ride was a certain level of attraction. So like E ticket, that was your big ride. So you could buy, additional tickets. So $3.50 was, think of it like a cover charge to get in the door.
Okay. And then you have to buy coupons.
Per ride, kind of like you do at probably your local fair.
Yeah, that's how it's run here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like this ride is 3 tickets, this ride is 5 tickets, or whatever the case may be. Well, nowadays everything's built into the ticket price, and you pay the one admission fee and you can go do whatever you want all day.
Okay, well, that's not as bad. I mean, when you think about the amazing rides that you're going to be able to go on and all day long.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. So
and you can budget properly.
Yeah. And side note, on October 1st, 1982, Epcot opened up at the Walt Disney. So that was the second park that opened.
Right.
Yeah. Two anniversaries for us.
Very cool.
Speaking of anniversaries and rodents.
And controversy. I had to pick this one. Okay. October 6th, 1982, the musical Cats is going to open on Broadway. Now, it had opened previously in England, so it was brought across the pond to Broadway. I know there's a lot of people either love or hate this musical, and maybe even more so after the 2019 movie.
There could be people that love the musical and hate the movie, because I know people that fall into that category.
I have never seen the new movie. There's 2 movies actually made about it, but the newest one is the one that causes the most conversation. But yeah, I love this musical. I had the cassette as a kid, and so when I saw that it was the anniversary, I had to pick it. Now, a lot of people might not know that the musical was based on the 1939 poetry collection, Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. And it tells the story of a tribe of cats called the Jellicles, and the night that they make the Jellicle choice by deciding which cat will ascend to the Heavenside layer and come back to a new life. So it already sounds like really out there, right? But I just love the music. It's so good.
What drugs were people doing in the 30s to come up with that?
Opium.
Something. They don't take that stuff anymore.
Now, the musical has been the winner of 7 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, right? Despite the unusual premise, that actually deterred investors away, because investors were like, I don't think we want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. It actually turned out to be like an unprecedented commercial success, and it grossed $3.5 billion US by 2012. So it actually started the whole love of musicals, I guess, like that whole, like people wanting to invest and create more musicals. I was like, all right. So the London production ran for 21 years with 8,949 performances. The Broadway production ran for 18 years and had 7,485 performances. It was making it the longest running musical in both theater districts for a number of years. Cats has since been revived in the West End twice and on Broadway once. Like I said, 2 movies have been made about it, but of course, the most notable one in 2019 that had Jennifer Hudson, Taylor Swift, Judi Dench, many more. And Memory, one of the most popular songs from the show, and it has been recorded by, do you want to know how many artists? People that have done their version.
30?
More.
Oh, wow. 50?
More.
100?
More.
200?
Under 150 artists.
I feel like we're on Prices Right. Over, under.
We already did that episode.
We did. Not that long ago. Back and listen to it.
So just imagine young Trish singing Cats in her bedroom. My poor father.
We actually have Cats coming here in the spring.
Oh, I want to go. I would love to see it live. I know it's like quite crazy. The sets are designed to be, I think, three times the scale of humans, so that it makes them actually look like cats in the stage.
Which
on the stage,
a Disney effect. So like when you're walking down, I think we've talked about this before. I don't know, but like when you're walking down Main Street, you see these buildings. Well, they're not quite as tall as they look because they used forced perspective to make things higher up smaller, so it looks like it's further away from you. And so, yeah,
you just feel like you're in this really magical place. So, Mike, do you want to know what cat from the musical Cats you are?
Sure.
So first, this is a BuzzFeed quiz, my friends.
Jeez.
So you have to choose a Disney villain. Are you going to pick Scar, Hades, Cruella de Vil, or Ursula?
Scar.
Nice. I mean, they're all good choices. Choose a fictional dog. Clifford, Snoopy, Goofy, or Brian Griffin.
Snoopy.
Clifford, yep. Snoopy.
Yep.
Goofy. Or Brian Griffin.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said Garfield. I'm like, Garfield's a cat. This is invalid, and Garfield is my spirit animal. I gotta go with my boy Goofy.
Goofy? All right. Yeah. Which member of the Mystery Gang are you? Shaggy, Scooby,
Fred,
Daphne, or Velma? He's not an option.
Jeez. I guess Scooby. I don't know. Go with Scooby.
Okay. Pick an art form: dancing, acting, writing, painting.
Acting.
Pick an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical.
Phantom.
Oh, it is one of them.
Okay.
The other options were Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita, or Cats, but you can pick Phantom. So we're going to go with Phantom.
Yep.
All right.
I've seen Phantom live.
Well, and you have an excellent Phantom cosplay.
Thank you.
Choose a type of milk: whole, almond, 2% soy.
Whole. Don't do any of those other three.
What is it? I read a meme the other day that said I've had so silly. I've had more peer pressure to try oat milk than drugs.
I saw that.
Like, that is so true.
Or almond milk, I think even. I think I've tasted 2% and I've tasted almond milk before. That's okay.
Oh, see, I'm like a 1% skim girl.
Oh.
I know, I'm sorry. Or almond milk. I try to actually limit dairy because of the whole thyroid thing. But
and it comes in a bag. Just
not in Alberta though.
Okay.
We got regular containers here.
That's right.
Pick a vacation spot. Are you going to New York, Hawaii, Paris, or Rome?
Depends. Am I going by myself or am I going with a beautiful lady? I guess.
Let's imagine you're going with a beautiful lady.
Because like Rome, that kind of, maybe, I don't know. I got.
We're gonna manifest. We're gonna manifest.
I'm gonna go with New York because Hawaii is beaches, and I know they're different than ours, but I can be at the beach in an hour, so I'm gonna go with New York.
All right, the city that never sleeps. Pick a female star: Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Beyonce, or Ariana Grande.
I was gonna say, I think it's you're.
I was getting my daughter's name mixed up in there.
Rihanna, Ariana. Who else? Lady Gaga.
Gaga or Beyonce.
Gaga.
Gonna be a little monster.
Yes.
How would your friends describe you? Loyal, mischievous, fabulous, or funny?
I'll let you pick that one.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you what to pick. No,
okay.
You're all of them. You're super funny. You're mischievous because you do like to pull surprises and sneakiness.
We'll go.
I'm going to go
with
with mischievous.
Mischievous can have a little bit of all of that because you can be sweet and mischievous at the same time. And
it doesn't necessarily mean malevolent.
Right.
I love it. You are McCavity. You live a secret. McCavity. Oh, okay, fine.
I've never seen it.
You just got to listen to it. You don't have to see it. Okay. McCavity, you live a secret double life nobody can figure out because you choose to hide who you really are. Once people get close to you, they love your personality, but it's not easy to get past those walls you've put up.
There's some truth in that. I know, 80% of these BuzzFeed quizzes are garbage, but I guess there's some truth in that. I mean, I don't open up to, I'm very personable. I can have a conversation with anybody, but I don't really open up to you a lot until I get to know you, So, yeah. All right, there's very truth in that. All right.
I don't like the fact that the image that they use on the BuzzFeed article is from the new movie. Like, give me the original cats where their fur suits. I remember a Reading Rainbow episode where LeVar Burton got to go behind stage and become one of the cats, which was really cool. All the fur was yak fur.
Oh.
So I guess if you're allergic to yaks, don't take in that show.
Yakety yak, don't talk back.
Mm-hmm.
And don't talk to us because we're out of time. Well, actually talk to us because that's actually your whole bit that you're about to do. Never mind.
That's right. To give us your feedback. If you have any questions, concerns, queries, or freakouts, you can find us on Instagram at the Time Machine with Trish and Mike.
At the Trish and Mike Time Machine Show. Okay. You want to try that again?
You can find us at Gmail at the Time Machine with Trish and Mike. You can find us on Anchor and leave us a voice message. Search us up on YouTube. I'm trying to think, how else can they find us, Mike?
I don't know, but just find Trish some help. That's all we need at this point. We'll see you next week, folks. Next week right here on the Time Machine.